Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy. We welcome you to the Maravich Assembly Center in Baton Rouge. LSU taking on the Missouri Tigers, the most improved Power League team in the country under Cuonzo Martin. And they find themselves right now with 5 games left to play in the regular season in a 3-way tie for 3rd place, just behind Auburn and Tennessee. And we welcome you to Baton Rouge, Beth Mullins, along with Jimmy Dykes. And our featured performers today, Jimmy, we got a couple of new guys to the conference that are enjoying very productive debuts.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, for LSU, Tremont Waters has been really, really good, especially at home. But Cassius Robertson from Missouri, he's been outstanding. You could argue maybe the best player in this league over the last 5 or 6 ball games. A knockdown shooter at 44% from the three-point line in conference play. He's expanded his game while he's been on the Missouri campus, much more than a catch-and-shoot guy. He can attack now and finish. He makes right decisions at the rim. And this is a kid that, boy, on the road, at home, it doesn't matter. The rim looks good to this guy. He deserves to make shots because of all the hours that he puts in. But Cassius Robertson is a classic hard to guard over the last 7 ball games.
Home whites for LSU, road black jerseys for Missouri. And here is Robertson with the ball in his hands, along with Jordan Barnett, 2 very good three-point shooters. In fact, both in the top 10 in the league.
Well, a tough start for LSU. Almost had a steal. Defender gets out of position, and Barnett very nicely under control. And you're right about Missouri. They can knock down 9 or 10 threes a game on you.
Mays, Edwards, Epps, and Reif joining Waters in the starting lineup today for LSU. Here is Edwards. Off the mark from downtown.
LSU's a team that has to make threes, Beth. They have all 5 guys in that spread pick and roll can knock them down on you.
Van Leer, Barnett, Currier, and Tillman. They should have the advantage inside in the paint today. Rebound comes out to Waters. Back to Tremont, the freshman out of New Haven, Connecticut, coming down to LSU. He's leading the SEC in steals. He's 3rd in the league in assists. Epps misses from the elbow.
How about Missouri switching that 5-1 action and not afraid to have their point guard, Garden Reith, and it worked out with good ball pressure.
Off the head fake, Tillman misses the gimme.
Gosh, the ones you got to make. I mean, he's about 56% from the 2-point part of the floor.
Waters off the nice crossover, creates some separation from Van Leer.
That's where he's most dangerous, I think, in this game in transition, because once the game gets into a half-court set, the length and the size of Missouri, I think, is going to make his deep threes even deeper.
Knocking down the triple there. He has struggled in SEC play from downtown. Currier off the bounce, bothered on the shot. Good defense by Epps. And then they give it away.
Talked about Tremont Waters in transition. He's not a jet, but he's got good control of his crossover and his step backs. He's a small guy, Beth, about 5'9", all his life. He's had to play the game with the ability to make his own shot. And you see the difference in home and on the road. And to me, LSU is at their best when he's getting 10 or 12 points a game, but he's getting 8 or 9 assists. That's the balance that they need out of this guy.
Boy, the early move here by Cuonzo Martin to go to his bench. The starting bigs are out, replaced by Reed Nicko and Jonte Porter. And as Robertson turns it over, also going to Jordan Geist. So 3 new faces out there quickly.
Well, Jordan Geist now comes in to check Tremont Waters. This is a gritty, tough defender, talking about 15 in black. Cuonzo was not pleased at all with the defensive effort and just a point-blank miss by Tillman early.
Mays off that high ball screen action, drops it off for Reith.
Wasn't that a good job by Mays to keep his dribble? Although he kind of got down below the block, he kept his dribble and stayed on pace. He's a change-of-pace guy with that ball.
Jonte Porter, nice spin into the paint with the left hand. Gets it to go and gets fouled.
And how impressive and how hard to guard was that spin move by Jonte Porter. Missouri got the ball moved side to side just one time, and then Porter just went to work as a big 4, a highly skilled guy from that high post position.
the 6'11 freshman from Columbia. Of course, Dad Michael, one of the assistant coaches, brother Michael, their star recruit who was injured early in the season, out with back surgery. Reports are there's another doctor's appointment next week for Michael. And while he's been out, as his father looks on from the bench, what a season Jonte has been having.
You think about this kid. He should be a senior in high school right now. He's one of 5 guys in the nation that's averaging that has at least 45 assists and 45 blocks. He touches the game in so many areas other than just a score.
Mays leaves it off for Reith. Even at his size, that's more of his game.
A little bit of a gamble to just kind of back off and shadow that pick and roll action, allowing Reith to have those clean threes.
Tillman, no good. Porter tried to keep it alive, and Epps snags it. Waters over Geist, short.
Beth, you said over. I think that's the key in regard to Tremont Waters. Make him make shots over some length.
And Geist responds at the other end, around and down for 3.
He has been really good. He's gone from a 31% three-point shooter to a 37% three-point shooter just in the last 3 ball games. As tough of a kid that we have in the SEC. If he wasn't tough, he couldn't play in this league. I said it last week.
Out of Fort Wayne, Indiana. And there he is, whistled for holding up Waters.
Well, Geist gives you 29 minutes off the bench, and what he does, he allows Cassius Robertson to slide over to the 2. But now he's becoming a very confident three-point shooter, especially in transition. Conzo's a coach that says, hey, in transition, if we got a clean look, let's take it. And Geist and Robertson are very dangerous in those 2 spots.
And Conzo Martin was talking about that with us when we visited pregame, how everybody, they don't care what their job is from game to game, day to day. They'll do whatever it takes. They are trusting each other, trusting the coaching staff. It's been a big difference over the last couple of weeks in their 5-game win streak. Kick out for 3. Edwards got it.
Boy, great job by Tremont Waters, because the ball screen was coming to his right shoulder. He showed right and went left and got himself in the paint, and a wide, clean 3 pass by him.
Robertson with Waters on him. Tough step back, short.
Watch Tremont Waters. The sprint-out ball screen is going to come, and the sprint-out ball screen comes to his right shoulder, but he says, nope, I'm going to go left, get a piece of the paint, wide open, clean 3. Well done.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy Shot. Get back to 100%, and in part by One A Day Men.
The horse is around the wall.
I'm sorry, Leo. I know I'm late. Traffic on the Ponte Vecchio on a Monday.
Always late.
My wallet. Un momento.
Card lock from Capital One. Instantly lock your card in case your card goes arrivederci.
Monna, that smile.
Technology this convenient could make history.
What's in your wallet?
Go!
Waters, number 3, averaging 12 points a game in conference play. He's struggling, though, right now. Only 31% from the field, only a 24% three-point shooter. Length bothers this guy on the offensive end. He will back dribble and attack you. Don't get lulled to sleep when he backs that ball up. He shoots deep threes. Don't be surprised. Make him finish at the rim. Length will bother him around the rim. Do not foul him. He's almost automatic from that free throw line. He's a throw-ahead threat as well in transition. You got to run bigs today all day long. Waters, okay, make sure we know who he is. You ready? Number 3, ready? Here we go.
We're ready, number 3.
Right.
Don't foul. Don't foul. Number 3.
Here we go. Here we go. How can I count on you to do anything with a Pop-Tart in one hand and coffee in the other?
It was cinnamon brown sugar. I can't help it. Waters out of New Haven, Connecticut, a player of the year in that state. Also good in football and baseball. And off to a good start here, Jimmy.
Well, you know, when you're small at this level in college basketball, you have to do 2 or 3 things. You have to be able to shoot it. He can shoot it. You have to play in different speeds, which he has, and you have to be tough. And he is all 3 of those things. Prefers to go left a little bit. We've already seen off the ball screen action. He's a hard guard.
Sims dives to the rim and gets fouled. So there you go. If you ever wondered what it is we do during commercial breaks, that's what we do. We run back to the locker room, a little chalk talk from the coach, and then we're right back out here courtside.
And now you're ready. So if I put you in right now to guard Waters, what's the one thing I don't want you doing?
I can't foul him.
Don't foul him.
I can't give up the 3.
Yep.
I can't let him attack the rim. There's a lot of things with Waters you can't let him do.
Make him finish over length.
Yes.
He's not a high percentage field goal guy around the rim. Make him finish over the length and don't bail him out.
Quarter off the mark. And in your history as a coach, how much of that during one timeout can players hold on to?
Well, what you do, you remind them of what you just talked about before tip in the locker room. That's exactly what coaches write down on the whiteboard, and they go through every player like that.
Watching tape all week, you got your scouting reports in advance. Short corner per year. Missed another gimme. That's a couple of layups missed by Missouri.
Gosh, 3 right at the rim for Missouri to start this game.
Winners of 5 in a row and currently tied for 3rd in the SEC. That is the 2nd personal foul on Jordan Barnett, and he will check out. But here's the resume that Missouri has put together, and apparent return to the NCAA tournament this year, Jimmy.
Well, they're set. I mean, they're solidly in that NCAA tournament right now, and those are good wins. And this is a team that not only will be in the NCAA tournament, I think they have the makings of a team that can get to the second weekend. They shoot it from deep, they have size, and they defend and rebound, things that have to travel on a neutral floor.
Epps for 3.
That's the thing that worries you with LSU. Both their bigs, Reith and Epps, play that 4 or 5 spot. They can run that spread pick and roll and put a lot of stress on your defense.
Another one at the rim that Missouri could not convert.
Waters going left.
Off that crossover, tried the cross-court pass. It's picked off.
They made him make it play over length. Very well done by Missouri.
Oh, they're going to call Puryear for the offensive foul. It looked like he was trying to bury the defender on the block.
Yeah, Missouri is that they're really good at getting that ball side to side, and then they attack. They try to put you in a defensive rotation off of a side-to-side touch, and this was the second side of the floor, and Puryear just gets his hand on the jersey of Waters, and both teams so far not afraid to switch their point guard onto a 4 or 5 at the rim. You do it, you better have hard ball pressure.
It was the first on Puryear. Coming off the screen, a wide open look from downtown. That won't go for Edwards. Tillman. They got the mismatch, and Tillman couldn't finish.
Tillman has missed 3 shots within 2 feet of the rim.
Counter 3 the other end. That won't go. Geist has it. In traffic, kicks it back out to Porter. He goes off the bounce to the left hand and gets the easy layup.
Yeah, bad defense by LSU. The ball stayed on the first side of the floor the entire possession. The defense was never put in a rotation, and Porter just with a little simple ball fake under control. Very well done by number 11. He is such a good player. Man, just does so many things that win basketball games.
3 double-doubles on the season. The last 5 games he's been in double digits. Nice assist there. Waters dropping it off for Sims. So now it's back to the defensive end of the floor, where first-year head coach Will Wade has really put the emphasis on improving. The numbers last year were not good at all. That's going to be an offensive foul on Brandon Sampson. 3-point lead for LSU. Jimmy on the block is going behind the scenes and behind the scorer's table when we come back.
Today, right now, you have more power at your fingertips than entire generations that came before you. But it's not really about what technology can do. It's about what you can do with it. We are living in the future we always dreamed of. We have mixed reality that changes how we see the world, and AI empowering us to change the world we see. So what will you do with it?
I'm just worried about the house and taking care of the boys.
Zach, talk to me.
It's for the house. I got a job.
It's okay. Dad took care of us.
Principal, we can help you plan for that.
Come back to Baton Rouge, LSU with an early 3-point lead. It takes a small army to pull off game day operations at any college basketball game. Right here beside the LSU bench, we have the LSU SID, and now from this point on, we really get some serious work done. These next 5 folks are keeping game stats. They're tracking field goal attempts, free throw attempts, rebounds, turnovers, all those things. Then we get down to a very important part of the game day operations. This is DV Sport. Any replay concern that comes over from the officials, look at all the different angles, camera angles they have to work off of with DV Sport. Next to DV Sport is a timeout coordinator talking about us when the horn sounds for 15 seconds ago. Then we have the shot clock operator, the scoreboard operator, the official scorebook. All these guys doing a ton of work, something that every coach in the country appreciates. And as an extra bonus today, Bob Pettit, right here on the front row, has his number retired, played here from 1951 to 1954. It is a pleasure to meet you.
Wow, that is LSU royalty indeed, sitting courtside. Start here back in the 50s, and then won a championship in the NBA. Naismith Hall of Famer on hand, and all of those folks that Jimmy talked about and Jimmy touched upon there at the scores table that you often see whenever somebody dribbles across midcourt. You either get to see the front of their faces or the back of their heads doing a lot of hard work. Day in and day out, night in and night out, to make sure that these games run as smoothly as we possibly can.
I didn't have near the appreciation for that until I was away coaching for 3 years, and just see the amount of time, and those guys are here 90 minutes before a game, and all the coordination that goes on between those 8 or 9 people over there and the 3 game officials. You just find folks that love the game. They truly love the game.
And I would imagine, with you coaches yammering away over there, they would have some good stories to tell about what happens and what transpires along those sidelines.
Yeah, let's get back to the game action, can we please?
Sampson stepping out in front. 3 threes for LSU. Only a couple of 2s, so their damage has been coming from outside. And from Missouri, shooting just 28% so far in this first half. Tough shot. Rebounded by Jonte Porter.
Very good defense. Missouri iced that ball screen and forced that ball handler into a tough 2. Get it side to side and make that defense respond if you're Missouri.
Nice ball fake from Reed Nico, and then wraps it around.
Play Reed Nico. I mean, this is the guy that's given Conzo Martin good defense and rebounding minutes off the bench over the last 5 or 6 games. So far, he's scoring better than Tillman.
And if you've been following the Tigers throughout the year, that frontline production, whether it's points or rebounds or the clutch shot from Kevin Puryear the other day against Mississippi State, discovering those frontline guys has been huge for Missouri. Well, coming up later, we got a doozy out of the Big 12 Saturday primetime presented by AT&T. West Virginia at the Fog to take on Kansas tonight, 6:15 Eastern on ESPN. If you're out and about, make sure you got your ESPN app with you. Both those teams looking up at Texas Tech right now in the Big 12 standings.
I think this is the year that Texas Tech knocks Kansas off that spot.
Ooh, it's over.
Well, that's not over, but look at Texas Tech's next 2 games are both on the road. If they win those 2 LSU games, I think they're in great shape because they have Kansas coming to them. And I trust Texas Tech because they defend their tails off, they share the ball, and they are one when they walk out of the locker room. There's great value of that bet this time of the year.
Robertson with the deep three. Yeah, it's Texas Tech's really to win or lose now because they have both Kansas and West Virginia still on the slate. Mays off the window.
If you're Konzo, you're okay with that because you made them take a tough two over your length. The kid hit a good shot. You made a hard shot, and you say, hey, let's play on.
He was their starting point guard last year and then moved over with the arrival of Waters. Skyler dropping about 11 points per game. Puryear off the bounce, and the foul's going to be called on Reith. His first.
Now watch how high and how much pop that Cassius Robertson has in his shot. Watch this. Man, this guy really exploded. I mean, that's a challenge three over the outstretched arms of Randy Onwalzer, who's about 6'3", but this kid, I said it last Saturday, he deserves to make shots. Not everyone in college ball can say that. But when you put in the time, the 3 extra shooting a day that he does, he deserves to see the ball go in the rim.
Originally from Canada, played collegiately at Canisius. The flush there for Puryear. Good interior passing for Missouri. And lay-in for Epps. Off the bounce goes Brandon Rochelle.
Yeah, that was too easy. Missouri has not been as good keeping the ball out of the paint so far in this game as they've been during this winning streak.
Lob over the top, not high enough for Jonte, and it's taken away by Epps.
This is where he's dangerous in transition.
Robertson.
See the respect that Missouri has for Waters when he came off that ball screen. 2 went with him. They put some size on him, and again, he struggles with size.
Robertson fouled on the 3 ball. That'll be the first on Waters. So one of the top free throw shooters in the country will head to the line. Look at the work he's put in.
Well, when he came to Missouri's campus on June 1, he was a catch-and-shoot guy only. He's worked on his handle. He can now play the point, but at the end of the day, he is a knockdown shooter. Knockdown shooters, that's what they do in the offseason. They're going to make 48,000, 50,000 shots a game throughout the offseason. Now, guys that are missing shots right now in the college level, they're going to blame somebody else. The bad passes, I'm not in the game long enough to get my rhythm. No, go to work, do your work like this kid does, and you will start deserving for the ball to go in. I just love this guy's story in terms of how he shoots that ball and the work that he's put in.
Oh, by the way, the work continues on game day. He leads the SEC at about 38 minutes per contest. Off the drive. That won't go from Sampson. Second opportunity here, no. Third chance and a foul.
Very well done. I mean, LSU only gets 8 offensive rebounds per game, so anything they can get off the offensive glass is huge right now.
We got a 1-point game. Let's find out what else is happening. Zubin?
Official timeout. That's Luke Dixie, is an official partner of LSU Athletics.
What?
All right, fans, as part of our fan appreciation game, it's time to give away a prize. Congratulations to Mr. John Williams. John Williams.
Our soccer is our stage. Our city represents our squad. You see it, can't stop, won't stop, our soccer.
I love sports. I just wish they could be with me always. They say you don't choose the app. The app chooses you. It is everything I could ever want in a sports companion. It can stream the games and shows that I love, and it's there whenever I need it.
That's okay.
I never thought I could find an app that loves sports as much as I do. Until now.
Duke it out for the Big 12 as the ultimate diaper dandy lands in Lawrence. Oklahoma versus Kansas, Monday at 9 on ESPN.
Oklahoma and Kansas coming up Monday night. And a reminder that you're watching the SEC on ESPN. A tough one today for Trae Young and the Sooners. They fell to the Longhorns and find themselves in the middle of that Big 12 pack.
Seems like every year we see a team or two that plays their way out of the NCAA tournament over the last 4 or 5 games, and someone plays their way in. And well, right now, you don't want to get on a losing streak. Huge game last night, wasn't it? St. Bonaventure taking down Rhode Island.
Topsy-turvy week, right? Purdue lost, Ohio State lost the other day.
Beth, it is still, to me, an amazing story that Auburn, out of this league, is right now being projected as the #1 seed in the NCAA tournament. That is, regardless of how you feel about what the Bruce Pearl situation, the FBI, the product that they put on the floor and how they play and how he can coach, that is a tremendous story this year.
Going to call the turnover on Missouri, and I guess this would be an appropriate time to mention the turnover problems that they have had. Sometimes they've been able to overcome them. But that's always right up near the top of that scouting report for Conzo Martin. Got to take good care of the basketball.
Yeah, turn over about 20% of all their possessions in SEC games, and you got to do a lot of good things to offset that. Unfortunately for Missouri, they do.
Sims will look for 3. Offensive rebound again. It was Epps going up to get it.
And LSU shoots it too well, I think, to allow them to get second opportunities.
Epps gets the bounce.
They're going to make you pay more times than not because it's a good shooting ball club, and you let them get above their average of 8 offensive rebounds per game, you're flirting with trouble.
Tillman fouled on the shot.
Fouls number 44, Wade Sims. That's his first personal.
Here's a look at the first-year head coach, Will Wade, after a couple of seasons at Chattanooga and VCU. He's only 35 years of age. And already talking about the possibility, Jimmy, down the stretch here of getting to a 500 season or better. Right now, they're 3 games above that mark. They only had 10 wins a year ago.
Well, he has ignited this fan base with his passion. When you watch him coach, he fights it now every possession. Conzo does as well. But he has an energetic style about him. He's killing it on the recruiting trail right now. And I think they have a very good chance of finishing above 500. And if he could get to the NIT in his first year, that is a home run of a first year. Taking over a program that was just, the life had been taken from him.
That's really the story for both of these Tiger seasons with their new head coaches. Mays goes away from the screen and knocks down a triple. That's the 4th of the first half for LSU.
That's very difficult to defend, Beth. It was a back screen into a ball screen. So you knock off the pressure, and now the ball screen becomes very effective. Very well done by LSU.
Porter trying to back the defender in. Steps through to the right side for 2.
Very patient, isn't he, for an 18-year-old kid? To catch it and not get in a hurry, read that he has a size advantage, and then just go to work. And this double-up action, Waters prefers to go left.
He does there. Can't knock it down. Porter with the rebound.
And if he starts hurting you going left, you better get on that left hand and force him to go to his second option.
Cullen Van Leer hits the 3. Junior out of Pacific, Missouri, who has been back in the starting lineup the last 5 games. And coincidentally, they weren't no coincidence at all. Yeah. They've won all 5 of those.
Yeah. I don't know if you can see Conzo defensively as a coach back in that far corner. That's where coaches stand that really emphasize defense. They get below the play so they can read what his players are seeing as well. Does that make sense? You get back there in that deep corner so you can kind of see what your players are seeing. He's such a defensive-minded guy that everything he does, even on the sidelines, I think is geared towards defense.
And he's one of the few coaches, really, that we were talking to pregame. One of the few coaches, if not the only one, he has a pregame mixtape, just like the team does. He's jotting down the game plan on the chalkboard, and he's bopping around. He's got, what did he call it? His old school flavor. That was the mix he had in the locker room. And one opportunity for LSU.
We're coming back to that conversation, but again, this guy in transition, because he's only 5'9", that's where he's most dangerous before the defense gets set. Geis was backpedaling, and Pryor just doesn't get there in time, but he finished over length. A hard shot, he hung. Notice he didn't shoot it at the top of his jump. It would have got blocked. He was actually coming down as the defender went down, therefore allowed the ball to get up on the rim. Very well done.
And that's the second foul now on Kevin Puryear. 2 on him, 2 on Barnett.
So who is that Conzo has in his playlist, in his headset?
So his old school flavor, he said he mixes it up, but today he had some Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Who?
And some Brand Nubian.
Bone Thugs and Harmony.
Yes.
Isn't there some spin-off of that thing like Wishbone?
Crazy, Lazy, Wish, Busy Bone.
I don't know. I'm Bruno Mars. I'm Bruno Mars in Little Big Town. Is he having a Little Big Town?
Robertson with the 3. I'm going to say no to Little Big Town, but maybe some Tribe Called Quest.
What he does have is a lights-out shooter in Cassius Robertson. I will tell you this: the bad shot bone is connected to the bad transition defense bone.
There you go.
There's another bone thing we want to talk about.
All together. Surprisingly here, the rebounding advantage in this first half has gone to LSU. They almost had a second chance bucket there. Robertson, off the fake.
Yeah, again, a guy that deserves to make shots. And again, because he explodes so high into his shot, he shot that over a 6'10" Epps kid in transition. Cassius Robertson is just so good, and Missouri as a team can knock down threes, but boy, this kid, the pop, watch this, bam, up, over, bottom of the net.
I teed up, I didn't see no speed bump. Yo, I teed off, the top screeched off. Hey, they ticked off. They ticked off. We teed up. I teed up.
Thunder Warriors tonight at 8:30 on ABC, presented by YouTube TV.
Thank you very much, Zubin. Well, some of the headlines from around college basketball. Bonnie's with the big upset last night. Texas a winner over Oklahoma this afternoon. And Alabama and Kentucky in a tight one. Alabama right now tied with Missouri for third place, as well as Florida. They are a game behind Tennessee, 3 games behind Auburn. So can they hold on the Plains? 2 games up with 5 games to play, trying to win the Southeastern Conference.
Yeah, and they still have Alabama coming to them. Look at that hard fire. The double team on the low block. Missouri's so good at it. Now, if there's a team in this league that's not ranked right now, talking about the SEC, they can get to the Final Four, much like South Carolina last year. I think it's Alabama. They have all the weapons to do it. All the weapons to do it.
Waters with the 3 there. Yeah, that's an Alabama team. They've got some guards. They've got some defenders. They got Hall that's coming on.
Beth, it's hard to get around them on offense, and if you do, they have a shot blocker, and they protect that rim really, really well. They have a pro in Sexton, who has now, in my opinion, if I have the first guard taken in the draft, would be Colin Sexton. The length in that league, the speed in that league is not going to bother him like I think it could bother Trae Young. I'm taking Sexton as the first guard if I'm a general manager.
I like that. We'll be able to see, of course, Trae Young again on Monday night. Here is Waters.
You can't leave him separation. He's shooting it too well, Waters.
Now 5 of 13 from deep. Porter, lefty, good.
Boy, makes hard shots, doesn't he? So good at the mid-range. That's not even a mid-range. That's like a 6 to 8 foot very hard shot. But he shoots such a soft ball. That ball will hit the rim and fall in more than not for him.
Coming up on 2 minutes to go in this first half. Waters forces the foul on Porter. Hey, we've got Will Wade wired for you today. Let's check it out.
You can't leave number 3. Epps, can't leave him. So all he wants to do is shoot. He's killing us. How many threes does he hit?
That would be 3. It would be the number of threes.
It doesn't need to be any clearer than that. I mean, you can't leave number 3. Very simple. No coach refers to guys in their huddle as you can't leave Robertson, you can't leave Porter. It's all about numbers. There's too many names coming at kids during the course of the year, and those numbers, man, 3, 11, 12, those are the shooters today. 14 is a driver, and you can't leave 3.
Well, number 3 is appropriate for him. Of course, 4th best in the league in shooting the triple this year. As Waters makes it a 1-point game. Full court pressure off that miss. This has been a concern for Missouri, especially late in games. They've lost some big leads, including a 12-0 run against Mississippi State. They hung on to win that one in overtime last week.
How tough was the last 2 games for Mississippi State? Losing like they did at Missouri and then midweek at Vanderbilt.
Brutal on the last second buzzer-beating 3. Tillman in traffic, and he's the last one to touch it.
Tillman is just getting eaten up in this game around the rim. The length of Epps and Reith now, it's his head that's not in the ball game offensively. He doesn't even think he can score right now around the rim.
He is 0 for 5. Jeremiah, the freshman from East St. Louis, Illinois. Coming off a career-high 14-point performance in their win against Texas A&M.
Beth Waters came right off that double-up action, and he's not near as aggressive trying to get to the paint as he is going left.
Reith. Second chance and a foul. Epps to the line.
But that has to be their 5th or 6th offensive rebound in this game. And you look at just the size advantage that they have. Van Leer trying to box off a guy, and he's fighting with all he can, but that's a foul and an and-one opportunity. And LSU is last in the league in offensive rebound percentage and defensive rebound percentage. Not so far in this game.
No, you're right, Jim. That is the 5th offensive rebound.
It's too many.
6 second chance points for LSU and a 2-point lead. Final minute, first half. Tillman now 0 for 6 from the floor.
He may not score the rest of the game. He's just a freshman. That's okay. But now what else can you do to help us win a ball game? Can you post defend, keep firing and double teaming, and rebounding?
Reith is fouled. That'll be on Jonte Porter. So now he has 2, along with Burnett and Puryear.
I thought it was interesting visiting with Konzo in his locker room before the game, and one of the things he told us was, I feel like he knows what he's going to get out of Robertson and Barnett and Geist. He said, when we didn't play well, that 3-game stretch, it's Tillman, it's Porter, it's our bigs, and right now that's a concern in this game.
Trying to keep the 5-game win streak alive, their longest since joining the SEC. 5 straight conference wins. But it's LSU taking it to them right now in the first half. Puryear into the lane, trying to get around Epps. And Aaron's going to get called for the foul. Reminder that coming up later today, we've got 14th ranked North Carolina and Louisville, the ACC in the Saturday Showcase presented by 5 Hour Energy. That'll come your way tonight at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN, and it's also on your ESPN app if you're roaming about town.
Beth, LSU has 2 guys that play on the inside taller than 6'6". It's Epps and Reith. And Missouri cannot take advantage of what they have on the interior right now. The length is bothering them. The size is bothering them. They're missing close shots. As a result, they're down 3, and they should be up in this game, 4 or 5 points. But you can't miss rim shots on the road.
Freer gets 1 of 2. Shot clock is off now for LSU.
And Reith has played heavy minutes in this ball game, but it's not the number of minutes that your bigs play that concern you. It's the number of trips. Reith is about an 80 trip guy per game, and that's kind of the pace that this game is on, which helps LSU.
Waters again able to get to the left side and get under Freer. And now Robertson won't get the shot off in time. 36-33, the score at the half, LSU leading Missouri. Let's get you to the studio and Zubin Mehensi.
Kansas, Texas Tech in a Sonic blockbuster today at 4:15 on ESPN.
Like the pine trees lining the winding road, I got a name, I've got a name, and I carry it with me like my daddy did. But I'm living the dream that he kept here, moving me down the highway.
Those who live up to their names make one for themselves. Goodyear, more driven.
Back to ESPN Saturday Showcase, presented by 5 Hour Energy, the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. And here's our storyline so far. The game summary, the front court struggling for the Tigers. They've been in some foul trouble as well. And that has allowed LSU to do some damage on the board, Jimmy, and Tremont Waters being Tremont Waters so far.
Yeah, if you're a fan of the Doobie Brothers, Trey Waters keep on rolling right now if you're an LSU fan as well, because he has control of this basketball game and very efficient on the offensive end. He's at 11 points, just taking 6 shots to get there, but just early it just felt like he was really comfortable, not in terms of only finding his own shot, but attacking the bigs in Missouri. Finished a couple of times. He got to the paint, made great paint decisions and rim decisions as well. And when the game is in this kid's hands, and they're hard to beat on their home floor, and Missouri right now is in a dogfight as they try to, for Missouri trying to get in the top 4 of the SEC, and this is one they need to have.
Tremont Waters, his first 6 games at home in the SEC, 16 points per game, some good 3-point shooting, and the assist number is solid. And he's headed for another good one here this afternoon, and what would be a big win over Missouri, trying to snap their 5-game winning streak and knock them out of a tie for 3rd place in the SEC. After today, 4 games left on the schedule, and for Missouri fans, of course, the big story would be a double bye if you're one of the top 4 teams into the SEC tournament, which could be like home games for Missouri. It'll be in St. Louis this year.
Yeah, just about an hour and a half away at most. And that's a tournament that you could make a case for 8 or 9 different teams can actually cut down the nets in St. Louis. That thing is wide open.
Barnett trying to track it down and keep it alive. Cheerleader took one off the noggin. She is okay.
Well, Barnett is struggling. Purrier's struggling. Tillman's struggling. And Cassius and John Tay have been the 2 guys that have delivered on the offensive end. I want to see how hard the box off is for Missouri on the first missed shot.
Knocked out of bounds by Reith.
Oh, you were right off the noggin.
She's toughing it out, though.
She is toughing it out.
Staying right down there on the end line with her teammates. They're going to really need something from Barnett. He only played 5 minutes with the foul trouble in the first half.
And Missouri running a roll and replace, but the replace guy, Purrier, is not a 3-point shooter. I mean, he's only made 2 in conference play. I think he's now 2 out of 18. So all LSU's doing on that roll replace belt, they're just backing off of Purrier and just saying, hey, fine, roll and replace all you want. We're not going to come out here and guard you.
That was on Dwight Reith, his second. Swing it over to Purrier. He'll try for 3 and knock it down. Emboldened by that game-winning triple against Mississippi State last weekend.
Yeah, how huge was that shot in the corner he hit last Saturday in Columbia? He's now 3 out of 19 in conference play, but there you go. Barnett sailing in there with a little bit more urgency on the defensive glass to start this half.
Robertson out to Barnett, got the 3.
What a great find by Cassius Robertson, who could not make that play when he got on Missouri's campus in June. But that young man went to work and became kind of a combo guard, but was a very good rim, touch, and find of a shooter.
What a find Robertson has been. And his ability really to blend seamlessly into the Southeastern Conference, coming from Canisius. And when you check out his handiwork right here.
Did a great job of him. First of all, while he was in midair, he had the ball tucked up with both hands like a running back, expecting the contact to come. Then he got it out of there for the pass. One of the most impactful grad transfers we have in the country in college ball.
Best amongst the power leagues. And there's a 3 in response from Mays. Purrier, they're still going to back off of them and play the percentages. And the takeaway, Waters with his head up.
Get it out of there. Just get it out of there. There we go. And one thing that he will do from time to time is over dribble. And this is about the 14th, 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, 19th bounce by Tremont Waters. Ends up good, though. It ends up really well.
Waters gets the assist. That's his 3rd of the day. And the bucket for Edwards.
Missouri has not... I'll ask you, Missouri's not bothering him, are they? He's taking the ball anywhere he wants to take it, at any speed he wants to take it.
Tillman fouled on the shot.
Tremont Waters, once he got up top and they get in that double up action, now he goes left, and that's where he's at his best in terms of a playmaker.
Hey, you're right, though, Jimmy. They're not taking anything away. They're not directing him in any particular direction. He's sneaking up on Ben Simmons for the assist record for LSU freshmen. And he'll probably get that at some point very soon. Tillman misses the free throw.
What a just a good, solid foundation piece for Will Wade to start to build this program around on the short shoulders of Trey Waters. They already have a tremendous recruiting class coming in next year, but that late get of Tremont Waters for LSU is huge for Will Wade.
Waters into the lane, off glass. Biggest lead of the day for LSU.
Taking the ball anywhere he wants to take it, anytime he wants to take it against a good Missouri defense.
Trying to get their 15th win of the season. And they've actually got a pretty good schedule remaining with Vanderbilt, South Carolina, Georgia, and Mississippi State. Teams down towards the bottom of the standings. So still some potential to do some damage. Barnett with the deep 3.
Teams in their weight class is what that is. Well, Barnett came off that little pin down dribble handoff action ready to shoot it and just rose up.
Reith shoved by Tillman.
Talked about Tremont Waters being in charge of this game. The low dribble ability of this guy is very impressive. Watch how low this ball stays. Below his knee the entire time. Dude's only 5'9", hard to guard.
Introducing Dell Cinema, technology with incredible color, sound, and streaming. Just as the creators intended.
You're watching the SEC on ESPN. And a little Mike the Tiger for you here in Baton Rouge at the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Beth Mullins, Jimmy Dykes, 15:35 to go. And a 44-42 lead for Mike's Tigers over the Mizzou Tigers. Chance for LSU to pick up a big win. And for Missouri, right now in a three-way fight for the double bye in the SEC tournament as a fourth-place finisher. Tied for third with Florida and Alabama, and Porter fouled on the shot.
Missouri is 9 for 11 from the three-point line in this game. And they're still down 2, shooting that well from the three ball. And that has to be a real concern for Conzo Martin.
That's the third foul now on Aaron Epps. Yeah, still, 10 points off of turnovers for LSU, 9 points from their offensive rebounds. That has helped them stay in front. But we talked early on, Jimmy, about the missed layups. You say the 9 3-pointers, they've only got 6 2-pointers the entire afternoon.
Yeah, and they are towards the bottom in college basketball in terms of the percentage of points they get from 2. But this is extremely low today.
Shooting better than 50%, yet still behind. Mays and Edwards. Waters relocates on the perimeter, can't knock it down.
Well, there's a couple of really good recovery closeouts by Missouri in that one possession.
And Waters is going to get called for the block. That'll be the second on Trey. There's your shooting summary with the 9 triples for Missouri, 7 for LSU.
That's really an out-of-balance offense by Missouri. And it's not because they're taking too many threes, which normally when you say that's an out-of-balance offense, it's a lack of a rim score right now in this game that has those numbers offset.
Geist finds Van Leer. He's short. Last touch by Missouri.
Well, Tremont Waters, number 3 in white right there. He has not been bothered in this game at all by what length that Missouri can throw at you. Missouri's not like an exceptionally quick team. And sometimes quickness can get up into this kid, but not today. The game is in his hands with 14:23 to go. Now, he's going to back dribble, but he will attack you off that back dribble if you don't stay locked in.
Reith. Porter snags the miss. Drop now just 1 for 5. Had the hot hand for them for a while through the month of January, but with the exception of the one game, he's struggled to get over double digits, and Robertson making a play and the dish inside.
Boy, how good is Cassius Robertson? He comes down and turns the corner again, finds that weak side of the floor, and Purrier does a good job of not standing and watching Cassius Robertson. He gets attracted to the basketball the right way, and boy, Cassius Robertson is... I'm going to tell you again, this kid had never played point guard until he got to Missouri. Now he's making plays going downhill. He's making good decisions at the rim, and he's a lethal three-point shooter. You could make a case, if Missouri finishes in the top 3 or 4 in this league, that this could be your SEC Player of the Year. You could make that case for him in terms of how well he's played.
Remarkable story coming from Canada and coming from Canisius College in Western New York, home of the Canisius... Little upstate New York trivia for you.
Gosh, it's not a normal Lions, Tigers, or Bears.
It's a griffin, but what color?
Golden griffins.
The golden griffin.
Golden griffins.
There you go.
They have to be the only golden griffins in college ball, right?
I'm going to say so. These are the other guys that have had an impact, but at Middle Tennessee State, New Mexico State, and Texas Southern, Robertson, the one jumping up to the higher level.
Well, those three guys have taken advantage of that grad transfer rule. Nick King, as well as anybody. Middle Tennessee State. A lot of conversation who will replace Andy Kennedy at Ole Miss. Kermit Davis at Middle Tennessee State. Just down the road has done an unbelievable job, and he will be in the conversation.
Kennedy and the school announcing this week that they will part ways at the end of the season. It's going to be a hold on Geist right there, whistled for the foul.
Beth Missouri continues to fire on those low post touches. They're doubling the basketball, forcing Reith to do something other than come to his left shoulder on a jump hook because Reith lives on that left block. Missouri knows it. They're going to take that away from him today and see if he can make good decisions as a passer out of the double team.
Waters in constant motion, now coming back to get the ball. This time driving to the right. Ends up with Sampson for three. Good ball movement there by LSU.
Yeah, that wasn't the extra pass. That was the right pass. Extra passes, in my mind, result in a turnover. You made an extra pass, one we didn't need. That was the right pass.
And that's going to be the third foul there on Trey Waters.
All triggered again by Waters to sail right down the middle of the lane and find the weak side and then get the high wing look.
So now Waters with the three fouls. Going to have to be careful. Geist will drive on him. Barnett. Good relocation on the perimeter for Jordan Barnett for three.
Great call by you. The relocation is what got Barnett wide open. He didn't stand and watch. He moved when his defender moved, and Geist did a great job of finding him on the backside.
Little ball you man there, Jimmy. Too many guys we see. You lose sight of your guy, and he moves on you, and you're done.
Boy, Geist with like a 2-to-1 assist-to-turnover ratio in SEC. That's huge for a team that really just doesn't have a great point guard.
Trying to beat the buzzer with a three. Reith, no. And Missouri will look to extend. Been tight throughout. The biggest lead, LSU up 5 earlier in this second half. And off the takeaway. Lay-in is good for Skylar Mays.
That was a terrific individual play by Mays. He blew up the dribble handoff as a disruptive defender, and then to make the awkward, the wrong-handed shot around the rim at an important time.
Robertson elevates. That won't go. Nice play by Tillman to keep it alive, and Geist in the lane.
He is 6 feet tall of guts and toughness and just a will to win. I mean, he's the kind of guy that every day in practice, his team wins. It doesn't matter if it's a shooting drill, a 3-on-3 competition, his team wins, and there's great value in those guys.
Waters finding the seam. Dropping it over the front of the rim. Porter out of the trail. Robertson wide open look, and he's missed a couple in a row after hitting his first three-pointers. And then Waters wisely dribbles into the path of Porter, who commits the foul, his third.
Oh, Trey Waters, keep on rolling.
Rule number 14, wearing the correct attire opens doors.
Oh, it's almost as if they forgot to set that alarm, Zubin. And the upsets continue around the world of college basketball. That, of course, this week's AP Top 10. Villanova has lost already this week. They will play Xavier later today. Cincinnati and Purdue both lost midweek. And so did Ohio State. Got whooped up pretty good in Happy Valley.
That's a Xavier team that I love. Trayvon Blewett went for 37 earlier this week. The Makura kid is just a real pain to play against. They have depth. I think they have probably the best 8 players overall in that league. It would not surprise me at all to see X in that Final Four.
Sims with a triple. 9 trays for LSU, 10 for Missouri. Porter missed another layup. And Puryear grabbed it right away. Barnett looking for 3, and he's got it.
Boy, a huge offensive rebound, and then a good ball reversal quickly to make LSU pay. That's what, how many? 5, 6 that Missouri has missed
half.
Right at the rim they've missed in this game.
5
those shots. Nice roll.
Sims short, and he's fouled on the second chance. How about some more Wired with Will Wade?
Keep punching, keep punching, keep punching. Everybody got that? Everybody got that? It's all about stops. Listen, our defense is solid. We just don't have the attention to detail that we need. We got to have great attention to detail. Our effort's perfect. Our effort's good. Attention to detail. Attention to detail.
First-year head coach for LSU, Will Wade. 3 20-win seasons prior to his arrival here. He's one of the youngsters in college basketball, mid-30s. And already making a big difference here, Jimmy.
Well, he's talking about attention to detail from his defense, and the energy is there. The effort is there. I'm sure he's concerned with their inability to tag those three-point shooters, because Missouri has had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different guys knock down a three, and that's who they are. It's not a surprise coming in. Missouri's one of the better three-point shooting teams in this league, and you better tag shooters, and that's the detail of knowing who are they. The energy has to be backed up by good decisions.
11 threes, just 8 twos so far on the day for Missouri. They'll try for another triple. Kept alive by Barnett.
Well, Barnett has sailed in there 3 times in the second half to keep that ball alive. That's a big wing you're trying to keep off the glass if you're LSU right now.
Last possession, Puryear kept it alive, and they got second chance points. And that won't be the case here as Porter misses. 2 to tie, 3 for the lead for LSU. Or excuse me, to extend the lead for LSU. Deep 3, Waters barely touched iron. Barnett goes down on the deck to get it. And now a chance for Missouri to tie or grab the lead. Getting a little sloppy inside as Missouri and Waters with another chance. Tigers cannot convert. Got a big one coming up for you later today in the Big 12, 6:15 Eastern tonight on ESPN. It's West Virginia at Allen Fieldhouse to take on Kansas, also available on your ESPN app. Texas Tech currently a game in front of Kansas, 2 games up on the Mountaineers.
Yeah, it's a must-win for Kansas if they have hopes of extending that Big 12 regular season conference championship thing they have going on.
Jordan Geist with the lay-in. You know, it's at 13 years in a row, right, for Kansas, winners of the Big 12.
Well, on every touch, you can hear Konzo Martin hollering hands. He's concerned about the high hand closeouts that they need in this game. No high hand closeout and a clean 3 because of it. It's an LSU offense, but it's hard to defend because they have multiple shooters around that three-point line off of a spread pick and roll or a double-up horns action from Tremont Waters to work off of. It's not easy to defend.
Barnett using the Robertson screen. That won't go. Tillman tried to throw it back down, and it's Mays who keeps it in play. Waters, nice shimmy with the shoulders to get by Geist.
Well, the DNA of Jordan Geist from Missouri has great value to it. Probably the slowest guard on the floor right now, gets all the way to the rim with toughness.
More. Doing great. You look amazing.
The Egg White Grill, so you can bring on the day.
Let's get the new Red Robin Taco Tavern Double with guacamole, tortilla strips, and zesty salsa. One of 3 burgers, only $6.99 each. Anytime, with bottomless steak fries, of course. Let's burger.
Red Robin. Yum. Duke it out for the Big 12 as the ultimate diaper dandy lands in Lawrence. Oklahoma versus Kansas, Monday at 9 on ESPN.
That's coming up on Big Monday, Oklahoma and Kansas, 9 Eastern on ESPN. Kansas playing West Virginia later today, and for Trae Young in Oklahoma, they lost to Texas this afternoon. He scored 26 points on 21 shots, spent a lot of time at the free throw line today.
I see similarities between Trae Young and Tremont Waters. They're both smaller guards. Neither one of them are jets, but they are so crafty and good with the ball and getting in the paint and making deep threes and playing with different speeds. That's Trae Waters, number 3 in white, is kind of the Trae Young version in the SEC. A lot of similarities.
Emerge restored, fortified, replenished. Emerge every day with Emergen-C, packed with B vitamins, antioxidants, electrolytes, plus more vitamin C than 10 oranges. Why not feel this good every day? Emerge-and-C.
Every day you wake up, the goal is to get home safely. I think everybody thinks that. Buckle up, phone down. To me, it means simply when you get in the car, buckle up before you do anything. The next part, put your cell phone down, because I think it's very important that we value lives and the importance of getting home safely. If you value lives, then you understand the importance of taking the pledge. 1, to put my seatbelt on. Then the other part, to put my cell phone down. Go to mo.org/buckle up, phone down, and take the pledge now. I've taken the pledge to save lives. Now it's your turn.
Well, back here at LSU, all even Tigers and Tigers, 6:58 to go as Michael Porter Jr. looks on from the Missouri bench, traveling around with the team. And, of course, the biggest question in the state is, will he come back to play this year? He had the back surgery in November. Big doctor's appointment coming up next Thursday to see where he's at. Konzo Martin spoke the other day about an update on that doctor's visit and said he'd be shocked if he was on the floor at any time soon, even if he got cleared on Thursday.
Sure, he hasn't even been cleared for full contact practice. He has not practiced for 3 months. I said last Saturday I'd give him about a 5% chance to play this year. I'm dropping it down to 4% this Saturday. He's gone down 1 percentage point this week in my eyes. I would be shocked. I would be shocked if Michael Porter Jr. plays for Missouri this year.
Several different things that Missouri fans are assessing. You'd love to see him come back and play. Would he possibly be the missing piece in the Final Four puzzle? But at the other side of that, is there a chemistry issue when you bring a guy back? And certainly no one wants to see him get re-injured and affect his future.
It has nothing to do with the kid, because I think the kid's a great kid, but you throw a guy in that could disrupt your chemistry and your offense and how the ball moves, because this guy is wired to shoot it when he gets it, and I just don't think it's going to happen. I do not think. I'd love to see him play. I don't think he plays college ball.
Has not committed to a one-and-done situation just yet, but that is the expectation from NFL or NBA folks.
This thing, because of the pace and neither team right now, Missouri not willing to get out and really push it and run. You know this is going to go down to those last couple of possessions.
Robertson spinning and drawing a foul on Edwards. Hey, we got some more Wired for you with Will Wade.
Listen, we got to get stops. We got to rebound the ball. That's a good rebound there, Sky. Way to chase that thing down. This is winning time. This is winning time. We got to, listen, we got to win these 2 rounds. Everything we got these 2 rounds. Let's go.
Well, the rounds are 4-minute segments, and that was at the under 8, and that's exactly what he's talking about. And the problem he has right now, Will Wade, is who can guard Cassius Robertson, and Missouri's question is Tremont Waters, but Robertson right now is really affecting this game as a lethal three-point shooter and his ability to get in the lane and make plays. And he doesn't foul. I mean, you look at all the minutes that Cassius Robertson plays, he only commits 1.8 fouls per 40 minutes. He's an iron guy on the floor.
Boy, if something is going to come back to haunt Missouri today, it will be what's going on at the free throw line for them so far. Reith fouled. Winning a round today, by the way, hasn't come easy, Jimmy. What Will Wade was referring to. We've had 12 ties and 16 lead changes today. Neither side has been more than 5 points up on the other.
You just haven't seen that 8-9-0 run out of either ball club. And you mentioned Missouri's free throw struggles. That's a huge thing in this game right now because they're one of the best in the league at 78% in conference play. Not today. Down in that ball screen, not letting Waters get to his right. Now they have the switch.
Waters gives it up. Mays a little out of control, finds his feet again, misses the shot.
Gosh, the hard ball pressure by Missouri negated the advantage that LSU had with the switch on the post-up. You can't do it any better with a switching defense than what Konzo's guys just did. It's hard to make a pass when the offensive player has his rear end to the rim because of all the pressure.
Geist. No good. Epps weak side. Here comes Trey Waters.
And you've got 5 guys spaced out around that three-point line that can all shoot it. Puts tremendous stress on your one-on-one defense.
Well, they are looking for Waters. They finally get it to him, and now Reith, the double team comes. Epps, the dive to the rim, and the foul on Jordan Barnett. Free throws coming. A 1-and-1 situation now for LSU when we come back.
ESPN's exclusive presentation of college basketball is presented by 5 Hour Energy Shots. Get back to 100%.
There he is. Your new brother-in-law. You like him. He's one of those guys who always smells good. His 5 o'clock shadow is always at 5 o'clock. You like him. Your mom says he's done really well for himself. He has stocks and bonds. Your dad wants to go fishing with him. Your dad doesn't even like fishing. You like your brother-in-law, but you'd like him better if you made more money than he does. Don't get mad at your brother-in-law. Get E-Trade.
Thank you, Zubin. And here are the 3 teams that are tied right now for 3rd place in the SEC. And when you look at those schedules, Jimmy, I think advantage Missouri right there, perhaps.
Yeah, but no coach would say we have the advantage. Not in this league. You're exactly right. It's just a brutal stretch for all of them. And any road game obviously can be hard to get. Florida today at Vanderbilt, that's not going to be an easy game. Vanderbilt is so good offensively, especially in their building. Florida, to me, is a team that's bothered by physical play. And it showed up midweek when Georgia went in there and punched them in the nose. I still love Alabama. They're in a 2-point game right now with Kentucky, but boy, the fight to try to get to one of those top 4 seeds in this league right now, it is on for the next 2 weeks.
They are each 1-1 head-to-head, the threesome there. Of course, they all stand behind Auburn and Tennessee in the top 2 spots in the league as Epps hits the front end.
LSU now 10 out of 11 from the free throw line today, and Missouri on the other side 5 out of 14. I mean, that's just not who Missouri is. They're a 78, 79% free throw shooting club.
All even at 58, under 4 to go here in Baton Rouge. Porter alone on that left side. Geis, top of the key for 3. Rebound Edwards.
Yeah, they threw it back to the emptied out side of the floor to Porter, but the good recovery took away the clean 3. And once again, Waters he's playing the pace that he wants to play, and he knows that LSU should play to win this game.
15 points for Waters, looking to add to it. That won't go. Approaching the 3-minute mark to play.
Wide open.
Robertson trying to get to the rim, dropping it off for Porter, and he's fouled. One and one coming up for Jonte.
A tough call. Missouri ran their kind of dribble action up top and got the ball reversed about 3 times, and right there, the reach in from behind by Edwards is what they get called for. It was really good defense by LSU to handle all that dribble action up top, and then a ball screen came sprinted out, and they still couldn't get the corner turned cleanly.
5 for 15 at
Crazy.
the line for Missouri.
That's how you get beat on the road.
Hanging and hitting is Waters.
The hanging part of your description, Beth, is the most important part. Because if he releases that ball on his way up, it's going to get blocked. He hangs and lets the defender start down.
Barnett for 3. He knocks it down.
They're shooting much better from 3 than they are from the free throw line. That is a crazy description of Missouri today's offense.
.33% from the free throw line. .60% from beyond the arc, Jimmy.
Isn't that something? Or great defense by Geis. First of all, to choke off Waters from penetration. Then he get in there to get the defensive rebound.
Porter, no. Per year the tip, and they're going to get Burnett for a shove. And Barnett just picked up his 4th.
That was the right call. Action right in front of us. Love the energy and the fight for this loose ball, but right there with the right forearm shoves Mays down. Proper call by Brian Shea.
That'll put Mays to the line. A 1-and-1 here for Skyler, 85% on the season. And he misses the front. Chance to grab the lead goes by the wayside for LSU. 1.5 minutes to go.
Thing's got to get downhill. That ball's got to get downhill.
Robertson and a foul. Still to come today, an ACC showdown with 14th ranked North Carolina taking on Louisville as they continue to jockey for position in the ACC. Everybody looking up at Virginia. That comes your way tonight at 8:15 Eastern on ESPN. Carolina and Louisville also on your app.
Well, Louisville can take a huge step towards locking up that NCAA tournament berth. I think they're good. I had Louisville early this year. They beat Virginia Tech, and I know they have 5 or 6 losses in the ACC, but Deng Adele is back tonight. He's missed the last 2 games with ankle problem. That guy can really score. They have shot blocking, experienced point guard. That's a good Louisville basketball team that North Carolina will have their hands full with tonight. And our guy that shoots an offsetted free throw alignment just buries them.
Couple of big ones there for Robertson. Timeout, Missouri in a 3-point lead.
There he is, your new brother-in-law. You like him. He's one of those guys who always smells good. His 5 o'clock shadow is always at 5 o'clock. You like him. Your mom says he's done really well for himself. He has stocks and bonds. Your dad wants to go fishing with him. Your dad doesn't even like fishing. You like your brother-in-law, but you'd like him better if you made more money than he does. Don't get mad at your brother-in-law. Get E-Trade.
This is Claire in Phoenix. Can I help you? Yes. Great. Correct. Ma'am. This isn't an automated computer. Operator? Ma'am. I'm here. I'm live. Wait, you're real? Yeah. With Discover Card, you can talk to a real person in the U.S. day or night. Plus, we're not going to waste your time trying to sell you a bunch of other products you don't really need. That is really nice of you. I feel really bad about shouting at you. Oh, you weren't shouting. You were just speaking in all caps.
At Discover, we treat you like you'd treat you. 100% U.S.-based customer service. Here to help, not to sell.
Welcome back to Baton Rouge. 1:17 to play. 63-60 Missouri as they look for their 6th win in a row. And Jordan Barnett with a good second half.
Bethy's been really good. Conzo doesn't run plays for Jordan Barnett. He just gets his stuff out of the system and out of the motion offense that they've been running over this 5-game winning streak. He does a terrific job of relocating off of any type of a ball action once the defense gets into a rotation. He flies in and keeps balls alive on the offensive glass. You look at Cassius Robertson playing 38 minutes a game. This guy plays 35. And fatigue does not bother Barnett or Cassius, either one.
Big second half. 15 of his 18 points since the intermission. Waters got it.
That was too easy coming out of a timeout. Just came off a ball screen clean. And Barnett now on the bench. Conzo may want his offense. Call a timeout and get him back in the game.
Final minute. And Martin will call the timeout, and he will listen to Jimmy and point to number 21 and say, "You're back in."
Got it. Yeah, I got to have him in. He's been too good, and if nothing else, he's just a floor spacer right now for Robertson to operate off of. But we're coming out of the timeout, kind of a step-up ball screen, but Tillman is not stepping up to take on that ball screen in case he comes off clean. That's just a wide-open look for Waters. Out of timeout.
1-point game, 57 seconds to go. And don't forget to tune into SportsCenter after the Oregon-UCLA game on ESPN late night with Linda Cohn and John Anderson. They'll have all the latest from the NBA All-Star Weekend, as well as the latest in college basketball. A lot going on today. And how can Bubba Wallace change NASCAR and make a little history? That's all coming up at SportsCenter late night on ESPN. Let's check in right now to the studio and Zubin. Thank you, Zubin. Riley with that buzzer-beating triple to stun Mississippi State a few nights ago. All right, so a 1-point lead for Missouri. They're down to 1 timeout. LSU has a couple. The men in black have the possession arrow and the basketball.
Conzo took timeout to get Jordan Barnett back into the game. So you know that he's at least going to be involved in the first or second option of this play coming from sideline out of bounds. It is a set play. It will not be motion, and LSU offsets it with their 1-3-1. It's a good move by Will Wade, and now Missouri has to adjust on the fly.
Changing the defense out of the timeout to the zone.
Drive it. Just drive it. Make a play.
5 on the shot clock. Porter inside, missed the layup. LSU has it.
That has to be the 8th or 9th rim shot that Missouri has missed in this game.
Timeout called by LSU, so they will have one left.
30 seconds.
And the miss after miss after miss for Missouri in this basketball game around the rim. They got a really good late clock shot. They didn't panic. They got Porter right in front of the rim. He just missed it. And look at this shooting. From the 2, 38%. From the 3, 57%. And from the free throw line, 41%. A totally out of balance offense today in terms of those numbers. But can their defense win them a game on the road when they're not shooting well at all? Beth, look at these misses. They start off the game, Tillman wide open. Kind of a lackadaisical effort. And now the body language starts getting bad. Puryear lets the contact bother him. And right there, the last play, I believe, just right in front of the rim. I mean, as a coach, you can only do so much.
All right, so now on the other side to LSU, you've got to feature number 3 in white will be prominently featured on this play. There's about an 8-second difference, shot and game clock.
And it's going to start with a guy that has the highest usage rate on the team. And here comes a ball screen that he's operated off of all day long.
Waters will keep it high off glass and an LSU lead. And they will call their final timeout. Trey Waters with 21 now on the day.
Beth, he's been in total control of this game off the bounce. He attacks the switch. Porter doesn't move his feet and choke him off. And his ability again to shoot a high, soft shot. Watch how high this ball goes up right there. Up high over Porter, who's challenging from behind. Very well done to keep his chin locked in and his eyes locked in like they are right now to Will Wade in terms of where he wanted that ball to go. A very clean, simple play. I loved it. Will Wade out of the timeout. Let's keep it clean. Let's keep it simple and go early, not late.
All right, so now from one number 3 to the other number 3, and you got to figure Cassius Robertson will be heavily involved here with 19 seconds to go.
Well, if you step your console right now, you have to talk about what are we going to do if it's man, what are we going to do if it's this 1-3-1 again that we just went about. You certainly have to get the first shot up quick enough to allow yourself to get an offensive rebound if you're Missouri. Missouri has not been great on the offensive boards today. I mean, they only had 5 or 6 offensive rebounds in this game. They've actually been out-rebounded on the offensive glass. Cassius Robertson has been a good playmaker. Guys can make a play for others, but at the end of the day, most of these times the games come down to who's going to get that rebound. And a week ago, bam, Puryear, the most unlikely guy to make a 3, kind of sealed the deal in overtime.
They beat Mississippi State. They've won 5 straight. They are in a 3-way tie for 3rd place. And they are trailing here at LSU.
And they're going to get this extended 1-3-1. You got size on the ball, and you got 21 Fs at the top. Missouri's going to have to attack this zone.
Barnett, Robertson, off the bounce. Robertson, foul on the drive, and it's an offensive foul.
Cassius Robertson, just there's not really much of a gap, not much of a slot there. Well, that's the right call. Great help side defense. That time,
Edwards got his feet out of there.
Yeah, if they go with the 1-3-1, that's what I was looking at, was Edwards on that backside. And, boy, a great job of knowing where that restricted arc is by Edwards. He's kind of their version of Jordan Geis, just makes winning plays. Talked to Will Wade before the game about Edwards. He says his team always wins. Doesn't matter what drill we're doing, he finds a way for his team to win, and he may have just found a way for LSU to win today.
So a 1-and-1 coming up for Darrell Edwards. They just went over to make sure the timing on the clock was correct. And they wanted to check the feet of Edwards, and we're going to stay as is.
Yeah, just making sure it wasn't a restricted arc play, and the play will stay as is with 5 seconds to go now. Missouri has a timeout, but they're going to have to get, obviously, a quick foul here and extend this game and give themselves a chance.
That's right, not the free throws here on the offensive foul. No. So the inbounds, full length of the floor.
So you have a size guy in Epps up top right here that's a good guy to, at least as a pressure release, he can go up top and catch a high pass if he has to. They got him.
And they get the takeaway. Robertson, shot is up, no good, tip, no good. And LSU hangs on to win it, 64-63. 21 points for Trey Waters today, including the game winner, and then a couple of missed chances for Missouri late.
Well, the sequence late, Missouri put size on the ball with Porter and really bothered the inbounds pass. Porter comes up with a tip. And right there, not just the contact wasn't called, it's a mad scramble. And all the easy ones that Missouri has missed in this game. Boy, I'm not sure that Robertson couldn't get his left arm up because of the contact. Robertson immediately after the game went to the official. But this thing goes back to all the easy ones that Missouri missed around the rim, the lack of free throw shooting, and Will Wade now has this team in position for some type of postseason play. Incredible.
15-11, the record now for LSU. They end the Missouri 5-game winning streak and knock them out of third place. Florida and Vandy coming up next on ESPN2. Now let's get you to Zubin in town.